Welcome everybody to our Truck 9 America here, live from the Irish Hills here at Michigan Speedway for the Ford Motorcraft 500. Folks, we are 7 races into the season, almost 8 races in, halfway through the regular season, folks, and man oh man, what a start to the season has been. Time has flown by. It feels like Daytona was just a day ago, but it has already been 2 months since Daytona, folks. This season is moving by quick, and now we head to Michigan Speedway after a little bit of a short track swing, and now we head to Michigan Speedway for the first time in the Gainbridge Truck Series history. A very big 2 mile track here, 81 degrees here this afternoon. We got some good racing up next. Hope you guys have all enjoyed your Saturday afternoon so far here. I know IndyCar is starting up in a little bit, but folks, it is time for some truck racing. And coming into this race this afternoon, Racing Motorsports locks out the first 3 positions, and Racing Motorsports so far this season have looked like the guys to beat, and it's going to be something to watch here this evening if they are going to still continue to be that team that everybody's going to look to take down. And with a track like this, there's a lot of draft involved. It's very fast, and it should set up some good racing. I'm excited to see how it'll go. Michigan usually generates a lot of runs, a lot of different lines, so it should be some pretty good racing. And with the pattern we've seen so far this season, usually after we have a race with zero cautions, usually there is chaos. So we might see some chaos this afternoon, but we will see how it all plays out, folks. But let's head on down trackside and go over all the info we need to know heading into this afternoon's race here at Michigan. So welcome everybody trackside here at Michigan Speedway. And folks, we have quite a few things to go over heading in to today's race. Of course, like mentioned last week, the 37 is going to be run by Matthias Bento this week once again. Jay Valen's officially done in the Gainbridge Truck Series, so you will see Bento for the foreseeable future for Haynes Racing. But as well, there is some changes coming to the upgrades in the series announced earlier this week by NCNA officials. You can see the official upgrade scale moving on for the rest of the season on your screen, and this is gonna change quite a few things. Makes more expensive upgrades for higher ratings, and then cheaper ratings will be more not cheaper ratings. Lower ratings will be more cheaper. So this is gonna add a little bit of balance to the league, and also teams who finish in the top 25 will now get 2 points, and the winner's purse isn't as much for the owner's side of everything because it was a little overpowered, but now guys who finish in the top 25 do get 2 points for their upgrades. Of course, though, this will apply after this race, so we will see after this race the first upgrades this will apply to, and it's gonna be quite a considerable change. And it's kind of something we just had to do, but that was one of the things we had to go over heading into this race, because I know some people not don't always follow the news in Discord, but that's one of the things that is happening. We will be having changes, upgrades, and hopefully it makes some better racing, and hopefully evens out everything a little bit. Which you don't want to be, of course, you don't want to be super even, but you know, a little more progression than expected. Only 7 races into the season, but that is kind of the out off the track news coming this week. Of course, we already knew the 37 had a replacement from last week, but that was something to go over. But tonight, I mean this afternoon, as we get into your standings coming into this race, of course, it is still Angel Gutierrez at the top of the leaderboard. Gutierrez still looking very good for Racing Motorsports, but he is trailed right behind him by his teammate Avery Alford and Aaron Abel. Alford cut down that lead quite a bit, to only 16 points after his first career win at Iowa last weekend. He cut the points lead down by 13 points. So Avery Alford certainly has been making lots of moves, and then Aaron Abel, of course, still being pretty solid for Racing Motorsports, of course, the team owner. So his team is doing very well so far. The flagship TRD team. And then as we go through the rest, you can see here Caleb Rose still sitting there in fourth, doing really solid for NS Racing. Hasn't really moved too much. And then we have Ricky LaFleur, who jumped up from 12th to 5th in the standings. And then we have Matthew Hubert, who went from 7th to 6th. So that's the one thing that has been interesting so far this season. It's been a noticeable theme with kind of like last season where there's a lot of guys who are pretty inconsistent so far, and it's not even just a lot. It's almost the whole field. Besides Avery Alfred and Angel Gutierrez, nobody has a top 10 average finish, which is a little bit hard to achieve. But 7 races in, you really would expect more consistency from guys. But there is a ton of people floating around the early and late 20s for their average finishes, and it is just not going well for some guys. And it's going to be something to watch out for as the season progresses. If guys aren't able to stay consistent, this race to the chase is just going to be up in the air. Of course, it kind of is a lock right now that Angel Gutierrez is likely going to trend up to be the regular season champion unless something drastic happens in the next 11 races, and that can definitely happen. 11 races is a lot, but right now it's looking like we could definitely see a very interesting race to the chase outside of the top four as it's just a lot of uncertainty, and we saw that last season as well. Maybe these guys will be able to figure it out and get that consistency going, but so far, as you can see in these standings, not a lot of guys are keeping up with our two leaders. And only about 4 drivers have 200 plus points, and Gutierrez is almost uh 2 races over the cutoff line. Of course, well, actually, I think nearly 3 races over the cutoff line. He's already looking very solid with the 104 points over the cutoff line, but still yet to get that race win. So we starting on pole here tonight. I think, well, this afternoon. I think that Gutierrez definitely has a great chance at getting that first career win. Of course, he's been very solid, but well, not very solid. He's been the best driver so far this season, but it will definitely be interesting with all these guys around him who are hungry for their first wins as well or looking to get a repeat win. So far, he's the only driver on his team not to get a win, and he's got a lot of guys around him who are looking to get wins as well and try to, I guess you could say, turn their luck around. But um, when it comes to the consistency part of it, I don't know. Like, I think it's more of the track types as well, going from short track, road course, back to Michigan, and then we head back to short track and then road course. So once I don't want to say we get a consistent basis of tracks that'll even itself out because honestly the schedule is pretty scattered, so I don't know if we'll get an even base, but that might be when everybody finally I guess you could say figures out what they're trying figures out their pace at certain areas. Of course we saw William Ayers last season make it into the chase, I think as fifth or fourth even, and he had just a string of just 15 place finishes to get there. I mean, he was very consistent, wasn't a top 10 consistency, but he did the right moves and stayed out of trouble. So we'll see if anybody has that type of role this season. But that is your standings coming into this race. So let's check out our drivers to look out for coming into this one, as there's a lot of talented guys to look at. And the first driver to look out for is going to be none other than the 23 of Carson Miller. Uh, Vision Motorsports kind of has taken a step back, but I think this could be the race that they finally get their season back on track. They have Rowe, Miller, Hubert, 3 very solid drivers. They arguably should be battling with Racing Motorsports, but so far they've not been able to do that. But I am confident in Miller coming into this one, and I think he will have quite a bit of pace to keep up. We saw him as a bridesmaid a lot last weekend, or I think it was IRP that we saw him as a bridesmaid a lot. So I do think this 23 is still trying to get over the hump of just being there, and he's trying to get that first one. And my second driver to look out for is going to be his teammate, Matthew Hubert. We know Hubert is very good at these big tracks, these 2 mile ovals. We've seen him get a win at Indianapolis. We've seen him win at Talladega. We've seen him consistent. We saw him win at Atlanta last season with the Super Speedway package. And then we saw him finish second at Daytona this year. He is always consistently up here at these big type of tracks. So Hubert, I would not be surprised to see him already in that top 5 by the end of lap number, maybe even the end of lap number 1. He knows how to navigate his way around these tracks, so he's definitely going to be some driver to look out for coming into this race, as he has a lot of pace at these type of tracks and he knows his way around. My next driver to look out for is going to be the 99 of Raul Dorn. Raul Dorn so far wow, sorry for that. For NS Racing has been very solid so far. Got that win in Atlanta. Ever since then, he's been kind of quiet, but I think this 99 has some secret pace. I think Doran just, when he shows up in a race, he is lights out. And I think this could be one of those races where Doran comes in and just has an amazing performance and possibly even becomes our first repeat winner of the season, as he has a lot of pace coming into this one. And well, his team as a whole has a lot of pace coming to this one, and kind of sitting on the outside of the chase right now at the race one. He's gonna want to figure something out, and maybe getting his second win at Michigan could be in for his home manufacturer, for the Ford manufacturer, could be the, I guess, outcome he wanted. And then for my final driver to look out for is going to be this 81 James Daniel. James Daniel has a lot of pace coming to this one of the hottest drivers in the field in terms of speed and just overall raw pace. Yeah, he just has one of the best pace in the pace coming into this one in the field. He's been very solid at the short tracks, and he's still trending upwards. Lego McLaren as a whole working closely with Red Bull Fallout, so both of those teams are very locked in. And I think this 81 of James Daniel, with the momentum he has coming to this one, could be a very big threat at possibly getting his first career Gainbridge Truck Series win. Was not able to get that feat last season, but I think he has very well a very good chance here this afternoon at Michigan. But as these trucks roll off here, folks, when it comes to my pick to win here this afternoon at Michigan Speedway, I am going to go with that number 27 of Matthew Hubert. Like I said, he is one of the best guys when it comes to these big ovals, and I think once again he is going to prove that he's the best driver here at these type of tracks, and I think he's going to get that win. But for our starting grid in this afternoon's race, in row number 1 is going to be the number 43 Angel Gutierrez and the 42 of Avery Alford. Row 2 is going to be the 41 of Aaron Abel and the number 83 of Ronnie Halger. And then row 3 will be the 17 of Kyler Sustre alongside his teammate Patrick Raven. Row 4 will be the 23 of Chris Miller and Caleb Rose. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 84 of Patrick Nolan and the 27 of Matthew Hubert. So that is your starting grid coming to this one. But early issues here on the pace lap for that 37 of Matthias Bento, starting so well for Chevy, but it looks like he is having engine issues off the start, and reliability has been one of the things to look out for. But as they make their way through for the first time in Gainbridge Truck Series history, it's going to be Angel Gutierrez leading us to green here at Michigan Speedway for the Ford Motorcraft 500. So with no further ado, as the pace truck peels down pit road, that 37 will take it down as well. The green flag is going to be underway here at Michigan. And as they make their way through very tight quarters racing here, as it looks like some of these guys are holding each other up here. That 45 of Sarah Taylor qualified up here, but they clearly might not have the in-race pace here. But they definitely had some qualifying speed, but right now it doesn't look like they have quite anything else. But up front, Aaron Abel has broken out into the lead side by side with his teammate, but he's got some company from Carson Miller and Avery Alford right behind him. Angel Gutierrez, though, working that outside line. I am still getting over my cold here, folks, so hopefully I don't cough too much in this broadcast. But it looks like Aaron Abel is going to move into the lead. 50 laps around here at Michigan. You're going to want to expect them to come down around lap 20 to 25, barring any cautions. So that'll be something to look out for. But right now, Carson Miller trying to look to the inside of Angel Gutierrez, and he is going to do it here. As his teammate Alexander Rowe tries to follow through, and already looks like that 45 is dropping back. So is some other drivers, but like I said, these Racing Motorsport trucks are going to be hard to stop. They have gone off to a hot start and had a lot of success so far this season. And yeah, they are going to move away now from this 23 of Miller, but they do have company behind. These guys trying to catch up and get some speed Here comes Dorn, one of the drivers to look out for coming into this one. He's got a lot of pace, but so is Ricky LaFleur, who I mentioned moved up a lot in the race standings. And now here comes Gutierrez now looking back to the inside of this number 41 of Aaron Abel now, trying to get a move off on his teammate here. And he might just clear him as here comes Avery Alford trying to make a move as well. So that'll be something to watch out for in this race. How can everybody else compete with these racing motorsport trucks? Right now they are breaking away. We saw them sweep the podium last weekend. They do it again. That will be an impressive feat. Of course, the old upgrade system did help them quite a bit because getting those max points certainly gives you an advantage. But of course, that does change coming into after this race as it is more expensive for upgrades. But Miller trying to keep up. So is Rowe, but they're starting to figure stuff out. Of course, Burnett working side by side with his teammate Caleb Rose here, working that outside line. Matthew Hubert trying to get past Patrick Raven as well. Sustre settling in here. So far, no cautions yet in this one. So far, some clean racing. Haynes has moved his way through. So has On Jack already getting up through here. So some guys trying to make their way through and use that outside line, but all lines here are pretty solid. You just don't want to run too low because that's when you could really run out of room to work with. But these guys are duking it out as now Avery Alford moves into the lead. So now he's going to get the lead here, but it might be Aaron Abel at the line. It was a tie, but they gave it to Alfred here. But these guys working side by side, maybe even 3 wide here for the lead. There they go. This could allow everybody else to catch up. Excuse me, folks, but all this battling is going to allow everybody to catch up. And with the amount of runs you can get here, this is going to be a good territory for some of these guys to get moves as Brandon Haynes now making his way through, trying to catch up here and trying to possibly break into the top 10 here. But he's still got quite a ways to go, but so is these auto trucks driving their way through. David Dixon as well started last in this one, already up 18 positions, so he's our biggest mover, I think, so far in this race. Back up front, here we go. Vision Motorsports coming into the party here. Carson Miller and Alexander Rowe. Aaron Abel looking to the inside of his teammate, Angel Gutierrez, but Miller goes way too low and you run out of room. It is too slick on that bottom there, and that kills his run he had going. And now Abel is going to get the lap led now, but as they battle more and more here, that's going to allow everybody else to catch up here. We might see them go 3 wide here once again, as there goes Alfred sending it into the middle. Not scared to be aggressive here. And there they go, 3 wide for the lead on the backstretch. 3 wide is all 3 Racing Motorsport trucks here. Alfred, Gutierrez, Abel in order as well. Now Miller and Alexander Rowe trying to get in here. Rowe going to give a little bit of a shot to his teammate here. Says, if you're not going to make a move, I will. Alexander Rowe, of course, team owner of Red Bull Fallout as well. He's got his trucks up here. Hubert making his way through. Here comes Brandon Haynes now getting past this number 17. Sustre to move into 14th. Chris Martin's on the move as well. Carl Young. So a lot of drivers on their way through this pack, and they look like they have a lot of in-race pace, which is something you like to see. Because so far it's been pretty chalk usually, but right now these guys are showing that they can drive their way through. But now we have a little bit of battle here between these teammates, and they're going to hurt themselves because you want to try to catch up to these guys up ahead. Rowe is going to clear Miller now. Can he get his sights set on Angel Gutierrez and the rest of these Racing Motorsport guys up ahead as they are duking it out, but they might now want to settle down here on the radio and just say, let's not lose too much of this gap we once had. But now Aaron Abel going to have that 7 of Alexander Rowe trailing right behind him. Does Rowe try to make a move here? He had a great run on that outside line. Won at Auto Club earlier this season. Another pretty big track. So he is very solid at these tracks too, just like his team owner Matthew Hubert. And now Rowe trying to get a run on Aaron Abel here, and he might just get it on the front stretch. But now Avery Alford moving to the inside of Angel Gutierrez for the lead. So these guys are just swapping positions back and forth. Of course, you get a point per lap split, so these guys have already gotten that extra point, and they are looking very good. Update on Bento. Looks like he had a camshaft issue rolling off, so he unfortunately is out. But back behind, Hubert's making his way through. And then Haynes as well has got some company, but they're a little bit too far behind. Actually not too far behind, only 8 seconds. So it'll be interesting to see how they work together. But some guys dropping back, of course, that's expected. Caden Arcadia, a pretty big mover as well up here. Arcadia all the way, only to 29th, but pretty solid. Now these guys are going to go 3 wide here as it's going to be Sustre, but Carl Young threading it through the middle here. Gets that number 38 of Joseph Wood trying to push him forward, and he is going to get the move off on this too, so he gets a 2-for-1 there. Young won at Las Vegas last season. Of course, has not been the victory lane since, one of the biggest droughts from an actual race winner, but now going to look to the inside of that 38 of Joseph Wood, so there goes Carl Young now. But Alexander Rowe makes a pass on Avery Alfred up ahead as they are all battling here. As now here comes Alexander Rowe looking to give a shot to the 21 of Aaron Abel as well. So now this battling is going to introduce Ricky LaFleur into the party. LaFleur now does, contact there nearly between Alfred and Rowe. Rowe going to try to use that inside line. Can he get a good run though? That inside's not been too strong, but he might just be able to dupe it. There goes Miller now trying to make a move on LaFleur now to the inside. So lots of guys battling up here. This 98, 99, 97, even the 98 is all 3NS racing trucks in this top 10 as well, trying to work their way through. But they are about 4 seconds behind, so they still have lots of work to do. And with all this battling, they aren't going to catch up anytime soon here. So they might want to settle down just a little bit, but now Rowe's going to have to settle back down as he was not able to get a move done on the inside line. And as long as the Racing Motorsports are able to keep it on the top, I don't think Rowe or anybody's going to be able to get past them because they just have such strong trucks. But now there goes Aaron Abel to the inside of his teammate Gutierrez once again, trying to get a pass off on him, nearly a shot there, trying to side draft. And he's able to make the bottom work actually, so he gets to the inside of Gutierrez and he storms out to the lead here. And the one thing to watch out for is the more aggressive you are, the more you will burn out your tires. So when do they eventually come in here? But already seeing that draft a little bit on the backstretch here, but they might be coming down here soon, or they're just losing grip here. That might very well be the case. Alfred may be losing some grip as how low he was going. But now Ricky LaFleur looking to the inside of Alexander Rowe, back up ahead. These guys still running together. See if Rowe's able to thread around the outside line, but Gutierrez closing up on the back, and yeah, these guys are losing a lot of time battling here. They want to settle down or they're just not going to get anywhere. But everybody else 13 seconds behind now, so that gap has grown immensely for the first time, and this is going to be something to watch out for, how big this gap can be. But the more you battle, the more time you lose. And right now it looks like it's going to be up to these 3 right here to try to beat out these Racing Motorsport trucks as there goes Gutierrez back to the inside. Lexi Herman and Monica Pato, Tamapato Racing not running too well. Lexi Herman's home race, but unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to be too good of a homecoming as they are struggling quite immensely here, as they just have no pace overall. Adrian Gale as well, Tanner Calvert, Caden Arcadia. The run kind of stalled out for Peter Onjak. He has dropped now back behind to 23rd. But so far, pretty calm race. No cautions just yet in this one. And now Rowe and them starting to lose a little bit of time here. These guys up front as they battle less and less, and some of these guys are just losing more and more time as they go on, and we'll see when the first pit stops are, and if anybody tries an undercut on these guys up here. But you see 3 wide racing back here. I mean, this is not going to get you anywhere, and this is why they're considerably losing time. As now these 2 are battling. So Raven trying to get a move on past this number 84 of Nolan, and it looks like you will get it done. But these guys, I mean, man, oh man, they are just going at it here. And we'll see if they continue. I mean, they look like they're gaining time at one point, but now they're back up to 7 seconds. But now Aaron Abel trying to get a pass off on this 42 of Avery Alford. And these guys have just been swapping position so far in the early half of this race. Still 6 laps away from the halfway point on this one. Yet to see pit stops just yet, but you can definitely see that some of them are struggling for grip. But when do they bring it down is the question. And I think if you're these guys, you do want to bring it down 1 lap earlier, because if you pit later, then it's a losing game, because with how fast they are going to make up a lot of time on that out lap. And it's just not going to go well. These guys get past here, but those guys are still duking it out. Everybody else here so far, Andre, I think working past is 92 for, no, actually, well, for 22nd there for a second. Ayers has looked pretty solid. He's running 20th so far in this one. Now, Nolan there looked like he was going to have a look. But, yeah, these guys are just duking it out. And this is going to be tough, tight racing here. And if they don't know any better, they might start a wreck here soon. But now LaFleur moving into 4th past Alexander Road. He wants to try to get the pace up here as they're going to come up on some lap traffic. It is the Tumatamapato Racing Machines, as now Monica Pato now is in last. Lexi Herman has kicked on the switch and is trying to move ahead. But we will see how lap traffic impacts this one. And we'll see if they cause any checkups here that allows other guys to get involved in this. But now Abel is going to move out past, but here comes Alexander Rowe now, has a huge run on that 82 of LaFleur here. And I don't think to be any issue for Gutierrez getting past that number 11. But we'll see if everybody else can get past that 7A at 32. They're going to push it close here possibly. I think they will be good. No, the 11 just blocked the 7 for some reason. Their Ram teammate, they blocked them, and now Rowe trying to get past them now. But now they're going to lose considerable amount of time trying to get past that number 11 to Monica Pato. And these guys kind of straight lined out now a little bit, but man, oh man, this pace has really dropped off for some. 30 seconds behind now, and they're losing more and more time every lap. And now the inside of that 6, but these guys have gotten single file now. Maybe they're going to start a train to try to get back in front, but back up front here, these guys are starting to battle here for the rest of the positions, as Abel might get stuck here, and he will get stuck on that 74 of Marcus Shields Kelly. That's going to be Rowe into 3rd. Here comes Carson Miller as well. This might be the opportunity here for these Vision Motorsport trucks and Ricky LaFleur to pick apart these Racing Motorsport trucks. But how many laps can they do on these tires? They're at the halfway point. I don't think they're going to have too much grip left in this one. And now Rowe blocked his teammate. I don't know what happened to him and Aaron Abel there. Maybe trying to cover him off a little bit. And you see smoke coming off a little bit from those tires. Nobody brought it down yet though. They're still running strong here at Michigan. No pit stops just yet in this one. When they have to bring it down though. That lap traffic helped them out a lot. Ricky LaFleur unfortunately not helped out too much, as he took forever to get past Marcus Shields Kelly. But now Rowe, a huge run on the back end of this 42 of Avery Alford. But Rowe might be bringing it down here. No, he just gets super loose on that inside line. No takers on pit road yet? I am shocked by this. That's something to watch out for. No takers on pit road just yet. And they might try to stretch it here, but how long? Now Abel trying to get to the end. Oh, they got a huge line of trucks here too. But Abel trying to get to the inside of Carson Miller, and he might just do it. No, Miller going to cover him off there. When they're in that straight line, it is much harder to pass because of that draft. But now these guys are moving out a little bit. Still no pit stops. When are they going to bring it in is the question. But now Abel still trying to get past Miller here. Not too much luck. Oh, he is going to get a good run off the corner here. There goes Abel to the inside of Carson Miller now, trying to get a move off and try to get a pass done. So now Aaron Abel having trouble on that inside, but nobody's come down, so maybe the pit window is lap number 30. And they're trying to stretch as long as they can, I assume. But I don't know. I just don't think this is smart here. Day 2 of LaFleur is falling out of these guys' draft. Back up here, though, past Sarah Taylor, who's dropped all the way behind, who qualified very well. Oh, opportunity blocked by Sarah Taylor for a second there. And now Gutierrez as well is going to have trouble with lap traffic, and you might want to bring it down here if you're one of these guys who wants to pounce on the opportunity. Here comes Gutierrez and all of them down. And all the Racing Motorsports trucks. A great call there to bring it down, but Rowe does not come down. So that is going to be crucial. If he gets stuck behind this lap traffic, he's going to be hooked here. I don't know about this call here, running it along. This might just give a race here to the Racing Motorsports trucks. So we'll see where he comes out, but he's stuck behind his 5 with Tanner Calvert. And yeah, he's going to lose too much time on this in lap here. This is not a smart move. They should have brought, oh, Gale and Castlenut. Oh my gosh. Pushing it so close there, pushing the limits. So these guys are going to come off here. Rowe is on pit road now. I don't know what his preferred box is, but I don't know what his box is, but it is going to be something to watch out for if he is able to be pounced on this opportunity. I'm not quite sure, because I think he's, as soon as that lap traffic came, those guys snapped into action and brought it down, which was a brilliant call, because you don't want to spend too much time out there at the lap traffic. But a fast stop here for Vision Motorsports, it looks like. Where does Rowe come out compared to these guys? Here comes a 43 coming off. Rowe is just now coming off the road here. I think he might just be out of luck. Yeah, that was a bad call, and that might have just given a race stage to Gutierrez and the 42 of Avery Alfred, as so many guys just came out, and he just had an awful end lap. You can't stay out in front of that lap traffic, and that was a bad call by Vision Motorsports, and now they might have to pay with it, and now he has to try to get past Allie Anderson Jr., but that might be much more of a challenge here, as this 15 is setting a blockade here, and now this is going to allow Aaron Abel to cruise right on by, as Rowe has not wasted any time trying to get past them. And yeah, that is going to allow Aaron Abel to get right past them, and that might be Racing Motorsports saying see ya in victory lane, as those three are all now going to set their sights and just try to get out of here with a win, unless there is a late race caution, but right now I don't think that is a possibility. Yeah, that's just a bad call by Racing Motorsports. Clearly Racing Motorsports knew what they were doing there, because as soon as they saw that lap traffic, they didn't waste any time. But we'll see if Rowe's able to catch up, but I just don't see it being a possibility. But we will see. That's a 4-second gap. Unless these, if they continue to get stuck behind this 57 and 9, then maybe they have a chance, but I'm not too sure. Especially with that apron there. Yeah, I know that's not going to hold them up too much. That sucks, but I don't know. These trucks are just so dominant so far. Start off the season, and once again, they look like they're going to have a lights out performance here on pit road and everywhere else. And that's just inconsistency of the field. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what happened. I'm not quite sure why there's so many inconsistent drivers. But we'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the season. But so many guys fell off the pace, and we might see all the way up to, I mean, maybe even 11th get a lap down in this one with just over 15 laps to go. So, see how the rest of this one plays out, but it looks like this one might just be over. Yeah, that's 40. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't see it happening. So, it'll be a battle between Alfred and his teammate here, Gutierrez. Of course, still looking for his first win on the season, but I just don't understand why they stayed out so late. Everybody, honestly. Honestly, kind of stupid call of me. I mean, you can't stay out 30 laps. I mean, especially with everybody losing so much time, and everybody stayed out 30 laps. I mean, really idiotic call there. And hurt everybody now. It's just going to allow these guys to just take advantage of their raw speed and just drive away. We'll see if Alfred has anything for his teammate, but with the pace so far that this 43 has shown, I don't think it's going to quite happen. And we'll see how the rest of this one plays out, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what the pace is by this season. It's been very interesting to say the least, but we'll see how it goes. But now here comes Alfred now going to the inside, looking for the lead from his teammate now. His name is pretty still wrong on the side of that door, but Alfred now to the inside of Gutierrez here. And gonna look to get the move off. There goes Avery Alfred now moving into the lead, looking to make it 2 in a row for him and his number 42 team. Can he drive away now? Not a lot of lap traffic in the area, so they very well do have a chance at doing it. But can Gutierrez give a shot back on this outside line? It looks like he will. Move to the outside here. And yeah, no. Does get a run off the corner here. Doesn't quite look like it. Yeah, he will. So now, Angel Gutierrez. Now, I don't think he's in. I mean, he might have a run going into turn 1 here. That outside line is a little bit more preferred, but I mean, they are zooming around this track. So yeah, they move around, and it's going to be Alfred holding him off here. I mean, he is driving away a little bit from his teammate. So it's kind of quite surprising, but he's moving kind of ways away. So it looks like it'll be another max points weekend for Racing Motorsports, which is going to help them a lot. Of course, upgrades being more expensive does kind of nerf it a little bit, but I mean, so far this season with how many stock points we have, I mean, they are so far out ahead of everybody else that I don't think that's going to cause too much issues. But here comes Angel Gutierrez roaring to the inside here with just 11 more to go in this race. And it's going to be a battle between the two Racing Motorsports teammates, one looking for his first win and one looking to make it 2 in a row. The top 2 in points at that as well. So Alfred now going to kind of fall back a little bit now. Gutierrez moves into the lead. Is Alfred possibly saving his stuff here? But Alfred very aggressive here. So maybe he uses stuff up a little bit too much, possibly. But now he's going to have to try to rip it around the outside here. Try to get something done here. They will have that 79 of David Sears, that 38 of Joseph Bonanna, 17 of Kyler Sustre. But they got to go. I mean, this 41 and 7 have a lot of green grass as well, but I don't think the 7 quite has the pace to keep up with that number 41. But as they make their way up to this lap traffic coming to 9 more to go here. This is going to be a very interesting finish here. A lot of lines to work with at this track as well. So now, Gutierrez gonna get past the 38, gonna get past the 79, so will his teammate here. But now he's gonna try to suck on, wow, he's gonna try to get draft from that 17 So he can slingshot past him in the corner. And that, no, he's not going to get the room, but he will look to the inside here. And this is going to allow this 42 to get right back to the inside. Possibly here going into turn 1, possibly trying to make it 3 wide. Tries to get a look on the outside, doesn't quite work. Alfred here now. Can he get the move off? He will move to the inside here to his teammate here now. Looking for the lead once again. Avery Alfred now looking to go 2 in a row here for the number 42 Racing Motorsports team. Won at Iowa last week. Can they do it on a big 2-mile oval here at Michigan? Excuse me, folks. Hopefully this cough goes away. I know it does kind of kill the broadcast a little bit, but now Alfred moves into the lead. Gonna try and drive away now from his teammate, but that 43 Gutierrez is gonna have a full head of steam, and he's gonna go right back to the inside here. Alfred tries to fend him off here, tries to make him run out of room here, but not gonna quite work, as Gutierrez gonna send it to the inside. Maybe contact there, no. Running out of room is at number 43. 6 more to go at the line, and these two are putting on a show here for the fans in these final 10 laps. I thought this race was gonna die down after those pit stops, but these two are gonna be duking it out for the win here. This is quite entertaining. Now, there it goes, that number 42 back to the inside. Can he get the move off here? Back behind him. Rowe is still keeping up with that 41. And they come up on the 79-38. Maybe Rowe tries to spoil this podium here. But now there goes Gutierrez, really using that inside. Back to the lead here, possibly. Gonna come up on the 2 Atomapado Rams here. Can they get past him? No, Alfred's gonna get a great run in the middle of the front stretch, and he's gonna just dart right back past them here. Say see ya later. Trying to catch up with me. 5 more to go there though at Michigan. What do these two have left in the tank? Both battling for bragging rights. The top 2 in points now. There goes that 43 Sunoco machine back to the inside. Now, once again, Gutierrez back to the lead. 4 more to go. Now, can Alfred get that run? Once again, they have a lot of lap traffic up ahead of that. Marcus Shields, Kelly, Brandon Haynes, Carl Young, Chris Martins, even 11th place, Rocco Dorn here. But we will see if they catch up. But now Gutierrez driving away just a little bit. At this point, a caution would send us into overtime. Shields, Kelly here. Does he kill the run of the 42? No, he won't. That 42 is going to do really well off the exit here. 3 more to go at the line. Can Gutierrez hold off his teammate and get his first Gainbridge Truck Series win? Started off last season hot for Rev Racing. Of course, from there it went downhill, but so far this season, 7 races in, he is looking very good, not running off pace. And honestly, this isn't a surprise to me. Last season, like I said, just said not even 10 seconds ago, he started off so hot, but he just fell off a little bit. But now he has opportunity once again, and he is not going to let it die down. But now, Haynes now, a little bit of a roadblock for that 42. 2 more to go now at the line, carving their way through lap traffic. Can Alfred get one more shot, or is this the final chapter in this race, as he's now stuck behind Carl Young, but so is his teammate? If he doesn't make a move here, this could be the race. Alfred not eager to get anything done. And that is going to be the race. Alfred does not have any pace. It's going to be Gutierrez coming to the white flag. 1 more to go. Alfred, nearly contact between Patrick Nolan there, but 1 more to go for Angel Gutierrez. Alfred does not get past that 33 in enough time. I think this one is over. Unless he gets a miracle run here, I just don't see it happening. I don't know what he did there. He's been so good with this lap traffic all day, but he kind of just, I don't know, he just laid his Yeah, there's just too much lap traffic here. But as his teammate makes his way to turns 3 and 4, it's going to be the points leader, Angel Gutierrez, finally making his way to victory lane. Angel Gutierrez is going to win the Ford Motorcraft 500. Gutierrez finally gets that win he has been waiting for all season. Congratulations, Gutierrez, the points leader, finally gets it done. Abel in third, Alexander Rowe in fourth. And we'll see who comes in fifth. It's going to be Ricky LaFleur, Carson Miller, everybody else. But man, oh man, I mean, what a race there by Angel Gutierrez, getting the win finally for him and his Racing Motorsports team. He finally gets it done. The points leader so far this season, but it has been a 2-season drought of no wins. But Gutierrez finally gets done in thrilling fashion. I mean, I know not everybody's a fan of just one team dominating, but I mean, Alfred and Gutierrez sure as hell put up a fight in those final 15 laps for the race win. Gutierrez, who looked like he was struggling with lap traffic, puts on that final level of, I guess, I don't even know. He just kicks it into a new switch on the final few laps. Final 2 laps, gets past that lap traffic. Alfred, who was just carving his way through like a hot knife through butter through that lap traffic, just runs out of pace. I don't know if he uses stuff up too quickly. That is one feature. More aggressive drivers will use their stuff up more quickly. Alfred is one of the more aggressive drivers in the league, so that could have been the case here. But man, oh man, Gutierrez finally gets it done. That's going to help him out a lot of points. Let's go check out your finishing results from from this afternoon's race. And as we get into your finishing results in this afternoon's race, Angel Gutierrez finally gets it done. Of course, Racing Motorsports gets another trifecta here. Alexander Rowe, unfortunately, him and his teammate Carson Miller, they just make the total incorrect calls there on the final, on the pit cycle. I mean, as soon as that lap traffic came, I said you got to come down now, because if you don't come down, that next in lap is going to be held for you. And unfortunately for Rowe, it was to not make up any time, lost time, and did not pay off for that number 7. Pardon me, but Ricky LaFleur perseveres, comes in through 5th here, so that's a good finish for Red Bull Fallout. He's joined by his teammate Ronnie Halger in 10th. NS Racing, nearly a triple top 10. Raul Dorn fell out the mix late. Um, but overall, a very solid race, I thought. Racing Motorsports still looks very unbeatable so far. Hubert drove his way through. Carson Miller looks solid. Brandon Haynes drives his way through. Carl Young. Uh, David Dixon up to 24th, so he gained about 14 spots, I think it was. So he gained about 14 spots from where he started. Of course, the 37 had issues, but I mean, I thought it was a very solid race. Of course, heading into Rockingham, that's gonna be a different breed, and then after Rockingham, that is when the chaos starts there, as we have the in-season tournament, which will shake up a lot of things for guys, and it's gonna cause issues. I mean, not cause issues, but it's gonna raise the stakes. A lot of guys are gonna be racing harder, no matter who you are. They want to get that money, and it's all well. We have Rockingham and then Maui International Raceway, which will be another fun track, which is another really big track too. Which that's gonna be a very interesting one. That's gonna be more of an Atlanta style, a little bit more drafty though. And then we head to Fuji Speedway, which is a road course for our in-season tournament. But that is your finishing results in this afternoon's race. Thank you all for tuning in. Uh, and I thought it was a very solid one. We saw some drivers right through. There was a lot of interesting battles to start off. I was shocked. Everybody was battling throughout, no matter what position, so that was fun to see. But of course, if you want to know anything else, join the Discord. It hasn't been popping too much lately, like the first couple races in terms of social media and all that, but that happens typically. But thank you all for tuning in our Truck Night America live here from Michigan Speedway. We will see you all next weekend at next Friday at Rockingham Speedway for the Smith. I think it'll be a Jesus Christ. Pardon me. I think it will be a day race. So we will be at the Rock. That had a great uh battle between last season's big three. We'll see if it has another good battle there. Um, but we'll see how that one goes. That will be next Saturday as well. That'll be another afternoon race likely. So be sure to stick around and see the race time for that one. But that is all here from Charlie Davenport here at in our Truck 9 America here for the Gainbridge Truck Series. 7 races down, 11 more to go until the regular season finale, and things are shaping up pretty well so far. We're starting to get a picture of who are the guys going to be hard to fight and who are the guys that are going to be uh uh struggling here. So, like I said, don't want to overreact too much, but I mean, the races are ticking away. You're gonna want to eventually overreact and say we got to figure our stuff out. But that is all here for this afternoon, folks. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening here. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Peace out.